G'day folks, Andy here from Manor. So the other day my mate Paul from Chittenanda, which is a little property about an hour and a half north and west of my place, brought me a whole box of mangoes. That's the remnants of said mangoes, and as you can see there's still quite a few. Good on you, Paul and Kerry. What you're looking at there is 9 mangoes chopped up in my pot with 6 onions. Now it turns out I used 8 because mine was so tiny small, but anyway, you're meant to use 6. We're going to make mango chutney today, folks. Here we go. To that pot we're about to add 3 cups of apple cider vinegar. I know I sound a bit vague when I sit there and go, how many cups? Well, that's because I'm tripling the recipe. Anyway, it's 3 cups. So now I'm going to add 700 grams of sugar. You're meant to use plain white sugar, but of course I always use jam setter sugar. And Dale, that's what it looks like, mate. There's your jam setter sugar. Now the only difference is they add a bit of bloody pectin. So makes it quick and easy, they reckon. So we'll do, what did I say? 700 grams. So that's only less than 2. How good is that? We'll add that. There's what that sugar looks like, Dale. Dale is Dale Calder, who lives up in Canada. We were having a bit of a conversation once about what the heck was jam setter sugar. Much finer grains, Dale, than ordinary white sugar. Probably a bit like caster sugar, but does have a tendency to clump a little bit, which stirs out really easy, so it's not an issue. There you go, I'll mix that in. Thing to add is 3 tablespoons of finely grated ginger. So I'm not going to bother showing you, but I'll give that a peel and then I'll finely grate 3 tablespoons into my mix. So bear with me. We're about to do 6 teaspoons of cumin seeds. Voila. We're going to do 3 teaspoons of coriander. We're going to do 3 teaspoons of mixed spice and probably 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves. Now that's the final bunch of spices that go in this thing. Then it's just boiled up and away she goes. They say boil it for an hour. I'll boil it till it's ready. You know, and that's usually, you can tell it starts to thicken. Here we go. It's not mixed. You can see there's a hell of a lot of spice in there, guys, so I'm following the recipe, which I hope will work pretty well. Got some good reviews. I also accidentally added that whole knob of ginger that you saw, which was probably 4 tablespoons instead of 3. That's because I happen to like ginger. So I'll mix that all up, get her on the boil, and I'll come back in an hour's time. Hey, hang on a minute, there's no salt. So what I'll do when I've made this thing, and it's, sorry about the rocking there, I was moving feet. When I've made it and I'm about to bottle it, I'm going to taste it. If it needs salt, I'll add it then. The other thing I was just thinking was you could certainly add some chilli if you were so inclined. Would give it a nice spicy kind of taste. But anyway, there you go. So that's been allowed to cool for half an hour or so. You can see it's looking reasonably, well I think you can, reasonably thick. You can see on the sides here where it's actually stuck. I've made sure, I dipped a teaspoon in to make sure she's thickening. So I'm going to ladle that into some glass jars now, and I'm just hoping actually I've got enough glass jars. There you go, she's bottled up. 8 jars give or take we ended up with. I actually really like the look of it. That's through the transparent plastic seal. It's nice and textured. It's got chunks of mango, little bits of onion. Those cumin seeds have swollen up and become quite soft. Love the taste of it. So all round I think it's a bit of a success. Happy with that, and yes, I would do it again, which is my highest compliment to it. Alright folks, you have a good one, eh? Second batch of the mangoes, and as I said, yeah, I think it'd benefit from a bit of chilli, so I've added 4 or 5 chilies in there. Not going to show you any more of that because it's the same as what we did before. But this is what, so we end up with two. We'll have original mango chutney and hot and spicy mango chutney. How good is that?